Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be explaining to you what a one-shot is and how do you make a one-shot. Now this is going to be the core basics of how a one-shot works. Now as you guys can see, I only have a 6-stacker here set up, or actually 7-stacker I guess. Doesn't really matter. Now most people get confused. What is a one-shot? How do I make a one-shot? Now, I mean, there are a lot of tutorials on how to make them, but I couldn't find any real explanation videos. So, what I decided I'll make an explanation video. So, just to demonstrate to you guys what a one-shot does, you fire the button here, it shoots at all that nice jazz, and I hope I didn't unload the chunk, and you can see it one-shots the wall. This can go on to as many walls as I guess you have enough power for. But you can see, yeah, so basically fires that, gets through the first wall. Now, basically, what a one-shot is it will normally slab bust. This one doesn't have a slab bust on it just because I want it for simplicity of the video. But there you go, you can see it goes through another wall. Now, basically, with this cannon here, you can see there's a lot of redstone. Now, this, you can ignore most of the redstone. And what I'm going to do to actually show you guys what a one-shot is and how it works, I'm going to grab a piston over here. So, imagine this to be your barrel, okay? Normally you'd make it 3 tall in some spots, I guess, like, I'll show you guys here in a second. I'm just building up the walls. So imagine this to be the barrel of your cannon. Now, before you start this video, I'm expecting you to have a basic knowledge of sand stacking and hammers. So, basically you can see here, normally what you do is you'd have your pistons over here that would bring in sand from whatever, your cobwebs and some normal sand, your standard sand stacker right there. And then your power back here. So there's that. And then on a normal sand stacker, you'd have a hammer coming in right here. This is like your standard cannon. And then you put, like, dispensers on top of this. But that doesn't really matter for now. But basically, what a one-shot does is you're going to bring sand and TNT in with the hammer. So, what I mean is kind of, you're going to bring, you're going to have dispensers and sand. And you're going to get the sand and the TNT through the hammer. So, what I'm saying is, red sand on the hammer guider and normal sand on the sand guider. And this is pretty simple. Pretty simple one-shot. Now, if you want a hybrid, now, like, obviously what this would do is it would fire off and you get your standard sand and then your one-shot sand on top. But if you want a hybrid, which is obviously what you want to do, that's how one-shot, that's the whole point of a one-shot, what you'd have to do is you'd have to, like, have a scatter. So, I mean, alternatively, you could have a scatter, like right here or something, but that wouldn't work because it'd fall down here, and that wouldn't really work that well. So, what we do is that, think of it with the button, think of it as, we fire the main hammer charge, and then one tick later, we hammer the next fire charge, or the hammer charge. So what we get is the hammer kind of turns into the scatter. So now how can we get, like, sand and TNT into there? Well, the way that we do that, there's a few ways of doing this. What I'll do is I'll give you an example. You can do this. And then you can have this, and then your red sand here. And then, for example, your hammer here. And basically what happened then is you would get your hammer being pushed down here, and this sand being pushed in there. Now, the way to make this go in there is to add a repeater. So, say you activate this one, like, whenever, I guess, like, 10 ticks after your main power goes off, obviously, you'd have to do it that way. You'd have this coming around here, then do this. And then, basically, what you would get is that you can see that does that. Obviously, we need to add more delay. So the way that, yeah, we just kind of got to fiddle around with the delay, and you could see there what happened is that this one activated that one, and that one activated that one. So basically, we can put the sand in there, and then all we gotta do is bring all we gotta do is bring the hammer in there as well. And then what happens is this piston, the TNT is here from the hammer. The TNT is right there, and then that TNT gets pushed out to here, and then this sand is like right about like here. Basically, this sand is pushed by the very the top pixel. You see that dot at the top, those 3 dots? Like that's where the sand is when the second piston pushes. So what we get is that we get the sand and the TNT coming in through the hammer. And then of course this would fire off. And what you get is the sand and the TNT are in the same block. So the hammer doesn't really push it anywhere, or it pushes it down like so. After a short period of time, I'm not really going to explain that, but that's basically how that works. I'm bad at explaining that. And then, now, how do we get this to hybrid? So, basically, what this would do is you'd get yourself some sand stacked with some red sand on top. Now, we need to find a way to hybrid as well. So, the way that we hybrid is that we do, like, on our hammer, let's just say that on our hammer, we have, this, okay? So this is going to be our hammer. So when we activate this, it activates our hammer, and it gets pushed down here, and that gets pushed out here. We already discussed that. So what we do is we do a hammer there, and then we sort of do like a loop around. So this is probably better explained with a larger hammer, like this. Or like this, for example. Yeah, like this is a good example right here. Basically, when we push this, it'll activate all the dispensers. But then, if we want to hybrid as well, like instantly hybrid with this sand right here, this hybrid sand, what we have to do is we have to activate the hammer using the hammer as a scatter. Or we have to activate the hammer like a tick after we actually do that. So, to explain this to you, let's just say that we have this, guys, we have this side. When we activate this, it activates our hammer, okay? And then we set up like a second part of the hammer right over here. Like we can actually just do one, but normally this would be something like maybe 100 TNT, and this would be something like maybe 10 TNT. You don't really need much more than 10 or 20 TNT. And then the idea is that we activate it a tick later. So only one tick later, we activate this. And then basically, this one activates, a tick later, this one activates. Or in other words, we have the hammer that hammers down the sand. So the sand is hammered down. And then the hammer, once the hammer's exploded, we still have once the hammer's exploded, boom, explodes all the sand we stack. Then there's still a bit, like one tick later, there's a bit more TNT stuck in that hammer clump, and that TNT will then explode. And the hybrid or the red sand will hit the block by the time when the first hammer explodes, the hybrid TNT or the hammer's exploded, the second charge goes, the second hammer charge, I guess we'll call it, goes, and then it hybrids the wall. And that's the basics of one-shotting. So, yeah, if you guys found this video helpful, leave a like, of course, comment down below if there's something you don't understand. I'll get right back to you. I'm a pretty small channel, so, of course, I'll reply to all you guys' comments if you need any help. By the way, I'm playing on this MineLink server, and another quick trick, if you stayed this far into the video, you know how I didn't have water here? Well, basically on MineLink, if you have bedrock if anything over placed bedrock will not explode when TNT's placed on it. Anyway, that's just for this server, that doesn't really matter. So, yeah, guys, of course, if you did enjoy this video, as I said, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. I might be doing more tutorials like this. And yeah, like up the video, you know, it doesn't hurt you guys liking the video, and it supports me a ton. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm Io, and I'm out. Bye-bye!